anybody else will come, but I think we have like the major team here for most of the things we'll need to talk about, and maybe Jake will pop in, or Suga, or who knows, maybe Keshav will come today. And let's see. So I've got the slides here, and I also just kind of made an agenda. I'll put it in the chat. It's just a place for me to keep notes. There's not really anything too important in there. I'm just want to start out and say, like, I feel like I have been very disorganized as a steward of this working group lately. I wish I would have had the slides done yesterday and the agenda prepared, and felt like, prepared for all of this stuff, and coming back from vacation trying to get caught up. I had a lot of applications yesterday. Anyways, I hope that coming back now, I'll have a little bit more bandwidth and focus to be a bit more organized. So I'm sorry, you guys. I feel like I've been dropping the ball in some areas as a steward, but hopefully I can find some alignment at this retreat and some support, and we can figure out, like, the best way to move forward as a working group together. And yeah, anyways, I just wanted to say that. So I guess that's kind of like how I'm feeling right now, and feeling good to be back, though. It was great to have a break. There's a lot to catch up on, and I'm really looking forward to using our time together in Istanbul. And I am grateful for, you know, everywhere I go in the world, I just feel like I'm surrounded by such amazing people and like great friends. And I had such a great birthday gathering here in Bogota, and like a bunch of friends came over and just like showed me a lot of love and stuff. So it's like, it's just really cool to know that no matter where I'm in the world, I'm like surrounded by my people. So that's something that I'm super grateful for. My intentions for the call are just I want to give some ambassador updates, but also check in maybe on some of the newer initiatives like the Telegram group, see how that's going, and see, maybe do some brainstorming on like some of the things that we can do together at Give Connect, and just kind of get our head in the game, because if we're going to be together, I think we could take advantage of this time and come up with some cool stuff for Communitas while we're together. So just check in on that kind of stuff, and then to give an update maybe on the working group proposal, because there's not much to update on. But yeah, that's me, and I will pass it to Franco.
Okay, I had to like double unmute. Yeah, how am I feeling? Yeah, good, cold a little bit, and yeah, like I get you on this feeling of like being disorganized, like feeling disorganized and stuff. Like it's been happening to me as well with some things regarding like rewards, but not communities. But yeah, I get the feeling. As a steward, sometimes like things can get like hectic. What am I grateful for today? I'm grateful, yeah, to like to have bought a ticket to go see my family finally after like almost like 2 years and a half, or like this. I haven't been to my country, my homeland. So yeah, I'm grateful for being able to go and move, like between oceans. I don't know. Intentions for the call is yeah, just sync on tomorrow's Meet the Makers event, and yeah, see what's going on with the Telegram group and just get updated. And yeah, I'll pass it to Serbi.
Thank you, Franco. I'm feeling really good. I'm excited that I'll be meeting all of you finally in Istanbul. I am grateful for the upcoming Istanbul retreat. I'm also grateful for my partner. He's like a beautiful gem of a person, and it's really great to have him around. And my intention for this call is just to understand where we are headed in Communitas, and also to give my updates on Meet the Makers. Also, just to like seek support from Franco and Almond for the tomorrow's edition. And I will pass it to Almond.
Thank you, Survi. So I'm feeling a little bit hungry. I'm preparing breakfast. And I'm grateful today for being healthy. I think that I've been struggling with health for all this year, and finally I feel good. So I'm grateful for help. And my intention is just to think on media makers, see what's missing, because I'll be on vacation Wednesday and Thursday, so just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I think that we're good, but just to check something's missing, and I'll pass it to Mai.
Yay, thanks. Hey everyone. I want to tell you that the things that I am grateful for is all the opportunities that have been arising lately. I feel very like blessed that things are finally like coming together. And the intentions for the call are to see what's going on with everybody else. And I guess the way that I feel is a little confused. I guess I am way more used to having a structure where there is a certain goal with a KPI, and then I have to just like make up everything that is possible in order for it in a determined time just to hit the goal. And then I can like be creative and do and put resources. And um, in this case, so Giveth is not like that. And so I guess I'm very confused in how much work. Okay, this is it. I am confused about how much work can I put in and how much hours can I log, even though I am working them. Because the truth is, I haven't been logging all my hours just because I don't know. I don't know. I feel a little lost on the way I'm supposed to work. But I'm happy to be here, and I'll pass it on to. I think that's it. We all passed already. Thanks.
Yeah, everybody went. Thanks, my. Well, I can definitely pick up that a lot of us are feeling a bit confused and disorganized, and I'm like I said at the in my check-in, I'm really hoping that getting us all together in person, we can find a lot more alignment as a working group and also even just as an organization. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to give you the guidance that maybe you feel like you need, but I don't know how to be that good of a guide in the situation because I don't really know what to tell you what to do. So I'm sorry that maybe like part of that is my fault that you're feeling confused in your role, and also I know your buddy is on vacation, so maybe there's like this kind of like gap there. So hopefully next week I want to really like put some intention towards building some more solid foundation for our team, and everybody can be a little bit more confident in what our roles are and what our goals are as a working group. All right, so I can just start off with some ambassador program updates. There's not like so much to update you guys on. The deadline for module homework was yesterday, so I've received 2 videos in total. I think if somebody came to me and wanted to turn in a video today, I would probably like let them. So I don't know, maybe we'll get another one or two. We'll see. I've been poking them. Um, I don't I also don't really know how strict to be about this deadline. Basically, it's just like for them to get rewarded and get the NFT. They have the other deadline is at the end of November. So by the end of November, that will be the deadline for everything. The getting the 3 projects onboarded and verified, and getting recruiting up to $100 in donations using the referral link. So they have one more month to complete those tasks, and maybe I'll just go on a case by case basis. There's like one ambassador who has been really engaged, but then had something come up maybe in the past couple, days or something. So maybe I'll give that person. But if the people just like have dropped out at this point and like aren't really engaged, I don't know that I will really give them an extension. So I'll try to be lenient with them. And at the same time, like we need to move forward with getting the NFTs out and getting a graduation party planned and stuff like this. So That's the next steps. I want to have a retrospective. I've been kind of putting together pieces of data here and there as we go, and taking notes as I go through the thing of like, oh, next time I want to remember that I can do this thing better or something like that. So I'll put all those together and we'll have a nice retrospective of the ambassador program and kind of try to plan for season 3. We're not going to include that in our budget this round, we decided. So we're just going to do it every 6 months. But I think this will be a good time to look at how far we've come with the ambassador program, what we did well, like how we could make it better, how can we keep people engaged, and then be well prepared and strategic for season 3 instead of just trying to jump right into the next one. So I guess and I want to build a feedback form. That's also on the list to give out. So that's pretty much everything that I have for the ambassador program right now. We've got 6 verified projects onboarded by ambassador, so that's really cool. The numbers are starting to grow. Yeah. Does anybody have questions for me about this or about the next steps?
I think that I mentioned this before. I think that you did a great job managing this season. You really improved a lot of things. You really nailed it with the strategy, with documents, with the resources, information. I think was great. I also think that because maybe the market conditions, because we're not in the best moment, it was hard to engage with them. But definitely, I don't think that it was your performance or our performance. It was more of like all of the things that limited the program, that limit us as well. So I think that for me would just be to close this season as a way of like just figuring out the best structure that I think that you already figure out, and then see how we can move forward with them in the next couple of months.
Thanks, Almond. I really appreciate that because I feel like I did put a lot of work into it. So I don't know. Sometimes so far I'm not necessarily seeing the engagement that I would like, the excitement behind it. So it's nice to hear that from somebody else. And I think next time we can be more strategic about the people who we invite and participate and where we like recruit people from. And I think that will bring a different vibe as well. All right. Oh, go ahead.
Thanks. I do think the same, like as Salmon. I think this ambassador program was so much better than ours. Like it was beautiful. Like I could see like all the changes and the efforts, and it was like really nice and clean, and it had a sense of chronologically. It made sense. So the only thing that I would improve is, I guess, if we don't have a roadmap for them to grow, or if we don't have anything else in exchange, definitely I know that they're winning some givebacks. However, people needs to have, we need to give them something, and an opportunity of growth, or a clear and certain roadmap that if A, B, and C happens, then it's equals W, right? Like if they can know that by the time that these metrics are finished, or by this amount of months after being an ambassador, they directly can apply or are eligible or are already having a space in, as a contributor, then people would work towards that, because what they want is to either have a job, or if we can tell them, okay, so as long as you're an ambassador, after this amount of time, you're eligible to participate in the next hackathon that Giveth is going to be participating in. Whatever that is,
Yeah.
not
I think I
that
see what you're
that
saying.
yeah, okay, something
Like
like that. I think
more
that's the
more so like looking for incentive, like long-term incentives rather than just like short-term rewards. Yeah, definitely. Okay, somebody just came to the door, so I gotta go. I gotta go for just a second, but I'll be right back. And you guys can, if you wanted to start talking about Giveth makers, go ahead, Serby. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Cool. So I already had a call with Ashley a while back, so I can start because she already has the update on it. So we are set for Give It Meet the Makers November edition tomorrow. It's scheduled. The event is already there in Discord. Almond has already scheduled the social media post. You might have seen, tweets are already going out. Um, so in the last to last week, because we discussed that we might not continue with Giveth Meet the Makers, which is why I did not really reach out to anyone external like Kevin or anyone else to really host, because it doesn't make sense to really reach out to anyone if we will close. It makes sense to reach out only if you want to make this event bigger and bigger with every edition. So yes, but beside that, everything is on track. We have 5 projects who have confirmed. um and I've already received the presentation from all of those projects. I've compiled it, so we are ready on that front. I will just need support from Almond or from Franco for the stream. I don't know how to do that. Beside that, I will just create the pre-drafted messages for the chat support, and I will send it across to everyone. And that's pretty much it. And Ashley will, send out the Discord message on the community 1 hour before the event. So that's pretty much it. Because I did not reach out to anyone, I was thinking that I will host the event, but I wanted to take this call as an opportunity to check with all of you. If anyone else is interested to host, like, you are more than welcome. I will provide the presentation and, all the information of the projects participating. So I'm here to help out. If anyone is interested, let me know. Otherwise, of course, I will host it. So that's pretty much it. And after the event is done, we were planning that we will have the retrospective and all of the different planning for the, for the next, if we want to continue this particular effort or not. We will have that kind of discussion once Nicola is back, because she's the one who has been taking this initiative. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So for the stream, Almond or Franco, can you tell me how to go about it? Should I, how to really, think about it? Can you support me on that front?
Yeah, of course. So we already have the link. Almond already created the link for the StreamYard event. So what we usually do with Nicola is that we meet, like maybe 15 minutes before the event, so everybody can join, like the event, and we can kind of like coordinate how it's gonna go, what's the order gonna be of the guests, and like kind of to explain to them what the flow is gonna be. So let me just send you the link, and yeah, I don't know, like it's just like that. It's pretty like easy to use, and then you can tell me, like, because I know that you have prepared some presentations, right? Like or you have like slides or something.
Yes, I do have slides. So I've already received the slides from all of the projects. So I'll just compile and edit all of that together. And yes, I will share. So I just had one request, because I'm doing this for the first time. Instead of 15 minutes, is it possible for you to meet me 25 minutes before the event?
Yeah, sure.
Just in case of any issues, yeah.
Yeah.
And Franco, I already the link of StreamYard I already shared to Survi on through DMs.
Okay.
So that Survi could share with the other projects. I don't know if you already shared that StreamYard link that I shared with you to the other projects, but basically you should share that link for them to know where to join the stream and where would be the call, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, my recommendation is that if you want to meet, like for us to meet before, like 25 minutes before the event, we can meet in StreamYard, and I'll show you how like it works and how we can do stuff. Yeah. And then like tell the guests to join maybe like 10 minutes before, or 15, I don't know. I think 10 minutes is more than enough to explain it. And also just to make sure that they're going to be there, because sometimes like people arrive late, and yeah, just like to coordinate with them in that front. And yeah, that's it. Like, don't worry, I think it's like it's pretty like straightforward. StreamYard is super cool, super easy to use, and and you can like take, like people, like if someone's speaking, you can like I'm gonna be the one like putting them, like on the screen, and take them out when they're not speaking, and kind of like all that stuff I can do. Always coordinate with Nicola.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much from Meet the Makers. So cool. I will pass it back to Ashley.
Okay, cool. That's great. I feel pretty updated. So, I think I know my roles here. The Discord messages, announcements. Maybe Maya, you can put those in the Telegram group as well, or we can work, or I can put them in there. We can make sure we get them in the Telegram group. Um, and then these pre-drafted messages. So, Franco, you're pretty much going to be like in the StreamYard, running the StreamYard. You probably won't have too much time to be interacting in the chats. I don't know, just like on YouTube and in Discord and Facebook, all the different.
YouTube, and which one is the other one I can respond from StreamYard? I think it's YouTube and Facebook that I can like reply from the StreamYard platform. But then Twitter, like, don't count on me with Twitter. I'm just like not a Twitter person, so I don't even know how to respond things in Twitter. And then Discord, probably I cannot be on Discord at the same time because it's like already like too much. But like if someone can cover Discord, I'll do YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Maya, do you have some bandwidth during the event to support and just like engage and help build hype in different channels and get in Twitter and be like, oh, that project looks really cool, and Serbia's gonna pre-draft some messages for us to share. So you don't even really have to think about what to type. It's mostly just like copying and pasting. So that way people who are watching, they have the links to go to the projects if they want to donate and like, this type of stuff, providing information. So do you think you could help with that?
Um, yeah, sure. I'm just not sure at what time is it. So it's November 1. That's what I'm taking a look at it right now. But I can't click on at the calendar. But at what
Yeah,
time is
it's
it?
tomorrow. But that's the other thing I wanted to check with you, Serbi. Have we straightened out with the time zone change? Like everything kind of got mixed up. So
So
have
it's
we?
11 a.m. ET, right? Ashley, we just decided that we will just streamline on that 11 a.m. thing, and
Okay,
which is
so
5, yeah,
go
which is
ahead.
4 p.m. CET, right?
Okay.
Or like event link on the chat. So that's like 4 p.m. CET for me. That's correct. So if
Yeah.
that's the time,
So
yeah.
it's showing correct for you, Franco, at 4 p.m. CET?
Yep. 4 p.m.
Okay, cool.
CET for me.
I'll just we have the Discord one, and I will check in the calendar and make sure that that's adjusted because I think the AMA is now showing overlapping with Meet the Makers, so we're gonna have to shift the AMA to afterwards. That's another thing. Maye and Serbi, just remember to tell people during the event that we'll have an AMA afterwards in the Discord, and they're welcome to come and continue networking or ask any more questions about Giveth, or if they need, assistance with anything, they're more than welcome to come and join us. So just to put out the open invitation to anybody participating that they can come to the AMA afterwards. And I'll just make sure it's good in the
Cool.
calendar.
Are you talking about the event calendar for Sesh?
In the
It doesn't
Google
look like they overlap.
Calendar.
Okay.
In the Google Calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many calendars.
I know. Trust me, I know. There's even another Google Calendar that has all our events that this event didn't even end up on. So I don't know if we've even been sharing that or not, but Ahmad created an event calendar so that we could share that with people without overwhelming them with all of our meetings. It would just show like Meet the Makers or community calls and like things that were like really open to the public. So that's even a whole nother calendar that we have. But I'll take a look at it and see what I can find out.
Oh, I
And
see
get,
Franco posted one I did as well. So that's cool. I'll just all up front. Let's go.
yeah. In the Discord, it looks good. Discord looks good. I think it's just Google Calendar that's off right now. Okay. Well, I feel pretty like complete on the Meet the Giveth Makers. I'm ready to sync with you guys beforehand tomorrow, build some hype, and maybe put out some announcements and stuff in Discord. So, is there anything else we should talk about around Meet the Giveth Makers? Anybody else have questions?
Unless you want to host or anyone else want to host, yeah, I will host.
Okay. So next up, I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead. 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. I don't know if my connection's a little bit choppy. Okay, let's keep moving then. The next thing I wanted to touch on is maybe getting some updates on how the Telegram group thing is going. Maya, do you have updates on anything that you wanted to let us know, like what's going well, if you need support anywhere, maybe what our next steps are as far as like continuing the maintenance or moderation, or should we change anything? I know there was some bridging to Discord. How is that going? Maybe just touch base on the Telegram group.
Sure. One of the things that I am confused about is basically how much engagement should I try to create? Because in my mind, it goes the other way. If what we want is to actually make the Telegram group be a success, then all the efforts that we need to make and a whole strategy should be created around just like really trying and being there and just like engaging to people so that they can actually start saying something. But what I've been listening to, or what I think we're looking for, is just that it just grows organically. What I've heard from you was like, okay, let's see if it works. Like you want to know if really it by itself is a tool that we should continue using. So I have been like posting here, thing and there, like here and there. I haven't really made that much of a big effort. I try to stay more connected and just like giving like highs and things that are very simple, helping a few people with connecting their wallet or why they couldn't, I don't know, like donate to their projects, stuff like that. But since we're already going to Istanbul, what I was thinking is I would love to connect in person with people and invite them to the Telegram group just to make sure that as long as they have a friendly face and whenever that I'm already establishing a connection, like a friendship, then as inviting them to the Telegram group and maybe finding a common, I can get the Telegram group to actually start moving. But I think it'd be a better idea if I do it by after people actually getting to know me, just because I haven't found that one thing that it is in common that I can talk about and make everybody engage. I think the even though they're all looking for the same thing, which is okay, we all have incredible projects. We all want people to donate to us, but there is not like a positive thing that we can all have together in common, so that people actually wants to help each other and talk to each other. It's just about like sharing their project and hoping that somebody wants to donate to them, but they're all in the same situation. So I haven't figured out what is the one thing that we can have in common that can get them into wanting to help each other, because there are no events, like there are no gathers, there are no, the only thing that I can think of right now, and I want to know what Almond has to say about it, is that I think I was thinking last night, the only thing that I think of that it might be good is finding really good articles about marketing and how to, fundraise and, how to make your logo, how to speak in public, how to things that might help them, just articles that are of interest of someone who's trying to raise money. That's the only way that I can think of that maybe if I start sharing, people will start talking about it. But yeah, so that those are my thoughts.
Uh, just on that note, regarding the Telegram group engagement, I think that the goal for having a Telegram group it was to make the onboarding process easier, meaning to not have newbies jumping into the Discord and getting overwhelmed, but have a friendlier interface or a friendlier channel in which people can just jump in and interact and ask questions. I really haven't seen. I don't. I think that I'm not even included in that new Telegram group. I have not seen it, so I really don't know if the engagement is good or bad. But I think that rather sharing articles or things that are not aligned or have not to do with Giveth, I would say that our best shot would be to invite the project owners that are already super engaged with Giveth, that are already participating, that tweet about Giveth, their projects, that are engaged on the Discord, that ask questions. I think that we have a lot of those, of just projects that are participating in the QF rounds and that are already Giveth ambassadors in a way, and have them in the Telegram group, because that would be for sure that they will start asking questions and talking. And it's important that from our side also we are sharing things regarding Giveth, that we have so many things that we can talk about from many different fronts. So again, I think that I'm not in the Telegram group, but that would be my thoughts.
Okay. No, I'll make sure that I'll add you. And yeah, I've been sharing things about Giveth. I can't see if they're actually clicking on it. I can't really know how many. Like, one thing is that they open it, and another thing is that they read it, or and it's not an engagement. It's just like me sending things. I want to create something that actually works. If you can give me the names of the people that you know or think would be a good idea to have them on the Telegram, we can have them and see what happens. There is this guy from Rifai Medellin that is always like very um, like shilling his project, and he's very open, and I really like him. But rather than him, yeah, no, I don't see anything. Like, I don't see this moving somewhere. I'm not sure that the goal of the Telegram group, which was to be a friendlier way to approach people, and people approach to us with questions, is working, and not in that matter. Because I have only heard about maybe a couple of people, and that's it. But I'll love you, and I'll ask.
I think that a good exercise for you actually would be to just jump into Discord and actually try to spot these projects, these people that share about Giveth on Twitter, on Discord. I think that also is a good exercise for you to get to know the community and get to know the conversations and the questions they ask and the topics they cover. On the again, on the content side, I don't know, because I have not, I'm not in the group, but I think that is a great tool for us to onboard people. I think it's just a matter of the strategy that we put towards the Telegram group, that to make it work or not. But I think that a good exercise for you could be to jump into the Twitter, to search the Giveth mentions, to see which projects shield or QF projects, also on the Discord in the shilling space. We're sharing some projects through Twitter as well. We have been highlighting some of them, so I would say that would be good for you to just jump in there and start doing some research so that you can have a stronger strategy on how to really detonate a more engaging conversation, and to have more people that's already an ambassador.
Don't forget, I think the first part that's being missed is there's 327 members of the Telegram group. We've lost 2. I don't know if anybody's joined. I think maybe 2 joined, so maybe we lost 4, because we're at 325. So basically, I think the first step is more of getting people to join the Telegram at all. So that would be more of the maybe going to Twitter is what I was going to say as well. Going Twitter, going through, looking for that. I don't know how to use Twitter. The people that mentioned Giveth, that the makers and all that stuff, that'd be the target. Go to them, drop it on their Twit thing, and try to get them into Telegram. Would be a good step. But if you're talking to one person, don't just say Telegram group. I would think you'd want to do both. It's like, hey, here's we have both. What do you have? Contact that way. You're not leaving them in. Ah, damn. Okay. That's all. Good.
I think I kind of got most of it, but yeah, it was really broken up. Basically, it's just like we don't have the members coming, so maybe just spreading the word about the fact that we even have a Telegram group so that people are joining it. And I think, yeah, give the at the Meet the Makers event, maybe this is a great way that we can also, I don't know, Serby, if when you're talking during the event to tell people like we have a new Telegram group and we could share the link for that so that people can join it there. Almond, I did put the link in the chat here, so if you want to join the group, you can do it there. So I did put some more just like information on this slide, and hopefully this will be helpful for you, Mai, for things that you can kind of like take into consideration and focus on for next steps. And I think also something that could be really helpful for you is maybe to like really define what the goals are of the Telegram group. Like you said, you're used to working towards like a certain KPI, right? So if we could sit down and kind of define what the goals are for the Telegram group and what the success metrics are to decide whether we're reaching those KPIs and those goals, that could be helpful for you too, so that you have some more like clearly defined strategy in your corner. So maybe that's a good place to start. Like, what are our goals, and how do we define success in this Telegram group, and then that gives you kind of something to work towards, along with some of these other next steps. I think Almond brought up some really good points as well.
If you can, guys, like write in the chat what would be like your 3 objectives for this Telegram group, or what is like your opinion, if it's 1, 2, or 3, whatever that you want. It'd be really nice just to listen to you all.
Cool. All right. Well, does anybody else have questions? We can drop those in the chat or DM them or add them to the slide or whatever you guys want to do. I just want to keep moving forward because I know we got a couple other things to talk about. But if there's any other questions, I want to make sure that we get them covered. All right. So next, I just wanted to kind of touch base on these social media campaigns. They were kind of put on hold because the Optimism QF round really took priority for comms. So a lot of these things are scheduled. There's one so far that has been published here about the Mycelia Women's March, and that was really cool. I'm not sure if this went out on anything except for Twitter. I was like wanted to check in with comms, and I want to talk about this maybe in the next comms call as well. But I just wanted to kind of like, this is the updates. We're moving pretty slowly on some of these, but there is a lot of content like in available to be scheduled whenever it's ready. I just don't want to flood comms with too many things all at once because I know they're handling a lot of other fundraising stuff right now. So I think this can just kind of like fill in gaps. It doesn't have to be priority, but it's great content. And then the thing that I was curious, Serby, is when creating these campaigns, kind of like, I don't know if I should be tracking stuff or if you're going to be tracking stuff. I know you said you would kind of like lead on some of these campaigns. Like I would put the content up and then you would kind of like champion it through to being published, which I think so far we've been doing a good job on the flow there. But should we be tracking things like the different impressions that we're leaving with these posts, or like, what indicates success for these campaigns, and how do we create a strategy here? Because that's really not my area of expertise. So if we need to be tracking impressions on Twitter, I haven't been. If we need to be like indicating some sort of putting some sort of like KPIs to these campaigns, that's not anything I've done. The only thing I've done is just like gather the content together for you to put it up on social media. So one thing I wanted to check in with you.
That's a good point, Ashley. Let me just start working on it. I'll just create a separate spreadsheet for all the communitas related campaigns and just make a list of the KPIs. But definitely, we should just track these. But these campaigns are mostly from the perspective of building awareness, brand reputation. These are not really something which will we will be able to look at conversions. But for sure, even from the brand reputation KPIs perspective, let me just make a spreadsheet and I can just start following that. So yes, but i
Okay,
i just
cool.
want with Almond, all these are these campaigns being scheduled, or we want to focus on Octane first and then we want to put these out, like how does it look like?
Everything is scheduled and everything is done. Actually, all of them are done. They have been posted on Twitter and IG in IG stories. And then the videos are already scheduled too. That will be posted on Twitter and IG as well. So everything is done regarding the campaigns that Ashley made issues for.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was checking on the issues earlier and I wasn't quite sure. Some of them weren't complete yet, and I know like with the QF stuff was going on. So I will then just look for updates on there and keep them in the content planner, in the campaigns planner, like mark the status. Once something is complete, like where should I put it? So there's one that I definitely marked as complete. Should we just leave them in here marked as complete? Like here's one. This one's done. The mycelia one that so
Um,
we just delete them out of here, or should I like maybe make some space at another one at the bottom that's like finished ones?
I was updating the issues actually. I was not updating the campaign
No, that's fine.
documents.
I'm looking at the issues and then I'll update the campaign document. So
Oh,
I'm trying to keep
perfect.
an eye. Yeah, no worries. But I just don't want this to get like cluttered with so many things that are complete. Like I don't know what to do with them once they are complete. I don't know that I should erase them, but maybe I can make like something down at the bottom and we can have like an archived or a finished section where we keep the things. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would be great if we just have a toggle at the bottom with all the complete items.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I think that's everything that I wanted to check in about this. If those ones are pretty much complete at this point, then yeah, I'll update this document based off the issues, and I'll start making some more issues for some of these things. Um, the one that I didn't put on here is the behind the scenes one, and that's because I wanted to talk about that maybe a little bit more in the Give Connect thing. We haven't done anything for the behind the scenes ones, but I would love to create a strategy for capturing content at the retreat and do some cool like behind the scenes content based off of like what's happening at the retreat, how is Giveth doing this unconference, and like we taking over a whole hotel in Istanbul. Like this could be like big really great content for Giveth. So I want to maybe come up with a strategy for that as well. So if there's not anything more left on this, I think I feel pretty complete and we can move on to maybe talking more about that. Because yeah, I think we could really take advantage of this time that we have together as a working group to maybe get more clarity on some of these things that people are feeling confused about. Like, I will just be real with you guys. I have been trying to create this working group proposal, and I'm getting so many mixed messages from all over. It's like, Griff says we want to grow community, but we can't hire anybody. But some things, like, we should have a grow proposal, but yet we're trying to save money. And so how do we navigate all this stuff? And for me, I am feeling so very confused on how to go about what the season 2 of Communitas is going to look like, what's important, what we should be prioritizing. We don't really have any efforts that are like focusing on bringing revenue. Should we be focusing on bringing more revenue? Is community really the working group that should be focusing on those efforts, or are we more so like this like family vibe? Or I don't really know, you guys. I'm feeling very lost actually as a working group leader. So my goal as a leader to at Give Connect is to find some support from my fellow working group stewards and find some clarity and alignment on Giveth as a whole and what it is that we should be focusing on and how to create a strategy. Because right now I'm feeling very discombobulated and like I'm getting mixed messages from everybody in different calls. So that's maybe my main focus, and just to kind of give you guys an idea of how I'm feeling in this moment, I would really love to use our time together, maybe to have a season 1 retrospective in person, kind of like revisit the goals of our working group. Are they the same as they were in the last season? Are they aligned with our greater goals of Giveth? So this kind of stuff is really what I'm aiming to do during our time together in Istanbul at Give Connect, and then maybe just like put some energy behind this, like behind the scenes content, like making sure that we're capturing good videos and pictures, and maybe make little summaries or like fun little things that's about what's happening at the retreat, and maybe creating a strategy for that. And then I just put 2 prompts here, maybe for us to think about that we can think about now. I don't know if we need to talk about them right this moment, but just to keep in mind, like when we do come together, these are kind of like, I would love to know for each of you, what does the season 2 of Communitas working group look like for you, and like what do you feel it's important for us to focus on? And then maybe just like learning about what our major pain points as a working group that we're finding right now are for you as a contributor, for us as a working group as a whole, like these types of things. I think these 2 things could be great. Just kind of idea generation. Anyways, I feel like I talked a lot, so I'll let somebody else talk.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think that the retreat is going to be like a great opportunity for all working groups to get together and define some things. I guess that we're entering in this like season 2 of the working groups like phase, and it's kind of confusing, I guess, for like at least for me as well, for the rewards working group. I guess that Mitch is the only one who like was like, yeah, boom, and did it. But yeah, so I think it's a good opportunity to do that, like think about like how we want to like continue this working group. And definitely yes on the videos and pictures and summaries, and yeah, just have fun, kind of like we'll be there kind of like hanging out, like the whole Giveth team. I think it's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of time to like do pictures and kind of document everything and then create content. I think it's going to be important. It's going to be nice.
Regarding these questions that you ask, I think that for me, the major pain points is that I don't see Comita's strategy aligned with the greater goals of Giveth right now, and not only Comita's. I think that the majority of the working groups are not aligned with the Giveth goals right now, which, as Griff was mentioning in the governance goal, is that these are definitely not great times for Giveth and for a lot of projects. So I think that one of the pain points is that we should try to, again, not only Communitas, but make the other working group strategy more aligned with Giveth necessities at the moment. I think that maybe that's something that we all can work as a team better this time. And I also think that we are lacking of more experience and maybe more of like Web3 techniques and strategies in the actions that we're implementing. I think that that's something that I see as a pain point, is that feeling that just we're getting short with our actions and items, and we're doing too much for very little results. So I think that we should try to pivot in what we're doing try to do maybe less, but with the greater impact. And again, I think that that's something that has been happening to a lot of working groups too. So I would say that those are for me some things that we could adjust, and that I'll be more than happy to support on that. And I'll pass it to whoever wants to go.
Yeah, I know that I don't think that we're the only working group that's feeling a bit confused and lost right now. And I think that it's because maybe as an organization as a whole, we haven't really defined what these goals are. Like people have expressed what they, Griff came in the call and said like our goals should be revenue and fundraising and stuff like that. And that's his opinion, his perspective. And I think a lot of people have different perspectives on what our greater goals are as an organization. So it's really difficult for the smaller working groups to align themselves with a greater goal if the greater goal hasn't like been clearly defined and agreed upon. I mean, we have our vision and we have our mission and these values and stuff, but we haven't really defined, I think, like goals for Giveth as an organization outside of more projects, more donors, more revenue, you know? And I think those are great things, but they're very broad and vague on as far as like strategy goes on how we go about getting there. So yeah, I know that we're not the only working group that's confused and and misaligned. So yeah, I'm gonna like try to come up with some different activities or things that we can do as a working group, and also maybe just try to provide as much input. I know that they created this really cool. Have you guys seen this Give Connect Notion that they made? Let me see if I Give Connect. Pedro made this really cool document where we can put um, ideas for different things that we want to focus on during the conference and the retreat. I posted it here in the chat. And so I hope to go in and like actually try to have a big influence on maybe some of the topics that we're talking about as a group, and these unconference topics, and try to be really poignant about the things that I think we should focus on as an organization and put my input there. So I also encourage you guys, if you have ideas on ways that we can really use our time together, and maybe even just add your information. There's like, I didn't get a whole chance to look through the entire document, but there's like a team area where you can talk about like who you are and let people know. And so it seems like a really fun and engaging place where we can start to define our schedule together and like our plan of action of how we'll use our time. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at that, take a look at it. I think it's really cool. I haven't really dove too deep quite yet, but if you have, we're the ones driving this retreat, you guys, so if we don't create kind of like the things that we think are important to focus on, then they're not going to get focused on. So if you do have input, don't be afraid to put it in here. Don't be afraid to speak up and and let your ideas be heard, because I think that everybody has great ideas.
I think it's wise for all of us to wrap our heads around a question like, how can the efforts of communities, how by community are really engaging, how can we really bring in revenue? Like, is there something that we can create to offer whenever, that to people, more than just like the platform? Like, I do think that the first thing that we need to focus on is something like fundraising. I'd love to see how can I help to engage with like the big organizations and companies for them to actually be donating to us. Like, we should have some sort of partnership where we are in every major organization is like actually donating to us, and through the marketing that we're giving, more people wants to join, more people wants to give. I do think it's all about marketing. That's the way I see things, because we do have a great product and we do a lot of things and people really have, like achieved incredible stuff. I just don't think that everybody knows, and it's like missing juice. Like I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna think about how is it that maybe our working group can actually achieve the major goal that we have right now, which I see that it is money, and it makes sense. And I don't want this organization to turn apart, and I still want to have a job. I want this to survive, and I want it to succeed. So yeah, but those are my thoughts.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll just use the last 2 minutes then just to let you guys know that this working group proposal, as I already kind of shared, is not anywhere even close to being done. And before I went on vacation, I was feeling very overwhelmed and I kind of like procrastinated with it, to be honest. So, and yesterday I had a lot of applications to process for project verification. So today I want to try to at least put some sort of skeleton together for the proposal. But again, I think it's strategic that we wait to actually finalize our proposal until after we've touched on some of these things in person. Um, I know like maybe we'll be behind and we'll be a little late submitting it, but I think it's worth it to take advantage and actually do it right instead of just trying to like throw something together because we have a deadline. Like let's use our time together to redefine these goals, find out what our next season is going to look like for us, and then maybe like create this proposal together when we're in person. So I'll try to put like a few things in the document, but I think that strategically we should create this together when we're in person and have a little bit more alignment with the greater goals of everything. But that's where I'm at with that. But now we are at the top of the hour and it's time for communications. So unless there's any like last minute sentiments or anything here, let's just keep brainstorming. Let's keep these juices flowing and get in the notion. If you have some great topics that you think can help us as an organization find more alignment, like get it. Let's get in there and try to like put some intention into this retreat together.
Thank